in this lesson, we'll start to set up the bones that will enable us to switch between IK and FK modes. To make the blending possible for IK FK, what we're going to do is set up two more arm chains. One will be for IK functionality and the other FK. And then we'll set up constraints to blend our main arm that's going to be enveloped between those two chains. And we'll use the sliders that we created to drive that functionality. So to get started here, what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is store these bones here underneath the envelope objects, making it easier for us to work with them. So do the same for the hand bones. Just go down the line here, and we don't want to add any of the nubs. Okay, so with all of these selected, we'll open up our layer manager and add to the envelope objects layer. Okay, once that's done, let's go ahead and now clone our arm chain. So that's going to be the arm root, the elbow, and the forearm, and we'll also grab the nub. With all of those selected, we'll press Ctrl V, choose copy, and hit OK. This is going to be for our IK arm. So let's go ahead and create a new layer with these selected, and we can call this our arm IK bones. When we create the FK, which we're about to do now, we'll use that same naming scheme. Alright, so again, with these bones still selected, press Ctrl V, clone yet again, create a new layer. This is going to be arm FK bones. Again, we'll want to make the default layer active. Alright, so what we can do from here is hide our envelope objects. We can hide the FK arm bones and go ahead and rename the IK chain. We'll also want to recolor it as well. So starting from the first, this is going to be J DRV, since this is a driver bone, L arm IK01. Going to the next, it's going to be elbow, then forearm, then wrist N. Okay. And for this, we wouldn't necessarily have to put end, because it's not going to be bound at all. We don't need to worry about that, so we'll just leave it wrist IK. Alright, selecting the arm, the upper arm, we'll go ahead and hold down Control, press page down, and recolor this chain. What I'm actually going to go ahead and do is just use a solid color of yellow. No need to add a gradient here. Okay. Alright, so once that's done, we can go ahead and hide this layer. What's nice about this is that if we were to go ahead and expand our arm IK bones layer, notice how we can get to these objects individually, which is great, and which is going to work out wonderfully when we go ahead and add our constraints. What I'm going to do from here is hide this layer and then bring back the FK chain. We can use that same naming convention we used for the IK arms, but simply rename this FK. Alright, so the next one's going to be elbow. And again, what's really nice about this setup is that we're going to get some nice blending back and forth. We also have some other interesting things to discuss when it comes to setting this up. that I know will be very beneficial to you. Alright, so once that's done, let's say we go ahead and recolor this. Again, selecting that root, control page down. And we could use, let's say, purple for this. Alright, so now as we hide that, we can go ahead and bring back our envelope arm that's going to be bound to the character. And what I'd like to do from here is go ahead and hide the nubs. If you wanted to, you could always hide this envelope object layer, making it a little bit easier on us, and go through, control click. Be mindful of the sliders. I'll just hold down control, grab the rest of these, and add those two objects to hide. Okay, so from here we can go ahead and bring back our envelope objects layer. Okay, with these things done, what we're going to go ahead and do is stop the lesson here and continue this process of setting up our IKFK arms in the next.